Hi. I want to make a short video. Well, maybe not that short, but anyways, I've been wanting to come on here, but you know, life is lifing, so I get busy. I'm gonna start in the book of Revelations. I'm on chapter 6, and I'm just gonna read a little bit, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. All right. It says the Lamb breaks the sixth seal. As I watched the Lamb break the first of the 7 seals on the scroll, then I heard one of the 4 living beings say with a voice like thunder, "Come." I looked up and saw a white horse standing there. Its rider carried a bow, and a crown was placed on his head. He rode out to win many battles and gain the victory. I'll kind of just tell you what I think as I go. So there's a guy online. His name's Steve Cicolante. I'm not really sure how to spell it, but if you can find him. He's an end time preacher. I think that's what he calls himself. Anyways, he has a video, a really great video, I thought, that talks about the 4 horsemen. He kind of breaks down what he believes the 4 horsemen represent, and I liked it. When he talks about the white horseman, that its rider was carried a bow and had a crown. He felt like that represented the coronavirus. White meaning like the doctors in their white coats. The crown representing the coronavirus, because crown is in Spanish is called the corona. Also, he felt like the bow represented, it didn't have the arrow, which he said was another word for something in another language. I can't remember. But anyways, you need to find that video. It's a good video. And anyway, so I'm going to keep reading because there's more. So we're in the 4 horsemen here. So here's the next one. When the Lamb broke the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living being said, "Come." Then another horse appeared, a red one. Its rider was given a mighty sword and the authority to take peace from the earth, and there was war and slaughter everywhere. So he felt like the 2nd horseman, the red one, represented war. Maybe the wars that are happening now, because, there's Ukraine and the Middle East. Yeah, so I believe that we're in this time right here, the 3rd one. So I'll read it. When the Lamb broke the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd living being say, "Come." I looked up and saw a black horse, and its rider was holding a pair of scales in his hands. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings saying, "A loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay, and don't waste the olive oil and wine." So I believe it said he was holding a pair of scales. So I believe a lot of people are being judged right now. And I also believe that, the cost of everything has changed, which it says on the bottom here, So I kind of believe we're in this black horse time. But there's still another horse. And I think that one's coming. Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be a good one. Anyways, not that any of them were good, but yeah. Okay, so I'll read the last one, and I'll just leave you with it. And maybe you can check out Steve's video if you can find him online. Yeah, anyways. I can't remember what his ministry is called. For the life of me, I can't think of it right now. But anyhow, here goes the next one. When the Lamb broke the 4th seal, I heard the 4th living being say, "Come." I looked up and saw a horse whose color was pale green. Its rider was named Death, and his companion was the grave. These 2 were given authority over 1/4 of the earth to kill with the sword and famine and disease and wild animals. So I believe, yeah, I believe this time's coming. I don't know how fast it'll get here, but it's coming. Because I really believe that the other writers kind of have shown themselves. Again, like I always say, don't believe everything I say. Ask God, you know. But anyhow, I wanted to say that. And then I wanted to talk about a few other things. I try to keep a bunch of topics at once because I only have that much to talk on each one. I wanted to say that if you know, they talk about, you know, like every 7 years there's like a reset. So, you know, I think we're ending a cycle. So a new one starting. So, you know, it's going to be a lot of change in a lot of people's lives. But I think it's kind of, your change is going to be good. If you've done good for the past 7 years, have you been doing good? Then you're going to have, probably your next change will be good. If you've been doing bad, like towards others, I don't think your next reset's going to be that great. But I'm, you know, I don't know everything, but that's how I feel about it. And if you need a way out of some situation, like I feel like if you get into a situation, I would reflect on that situation that's going on. And if you feel like it's not a good situation for you, you know, you can always ask God for a way out of that situation. He will always give you a way out. But if he gives it to you and you chose not to take it, then it's going to be, you're going to have to do it on your own. You know what I mean? He's not going to keep, like, he'll give you so many chances to take his way out, and if you don't take it, then you're kind of on your own to figure it out, and you're probably going to be stuck in that cycle for that 7 years or whatever time's left in that 7 years, whatever. But this is how I feel. I wrote this down a long time ago because I just thought it would be useful for anybody else that would like it, you know, to reflect on your situation, reflect on what you're going through, and then think about, like, how can I correct it? You know, if you know it's something bad and you've asked God, please remove this, or I need another, you know, way, this just isn't working out, I don't think this is going in a right direction, you can you know, ask him and correct yourself. And you know, and have self-control, because you know, sometimes it's hard and you can fall back into whatever it is, you know, everything, you know, is tempting. It might have been good at one time and it's not good now. So you have to have self-control to go down this other path. You know, that's why I always say reflect, then correct, then have self-control, you know, because you want to stay on the new path. Yeah. Don't get stuck in old cycles. Move forward. And there was something else that I heard, you know, sometimes moving forward is uncomfortable, you know, and sometimes change is uncomfortable. But if you want this change and you want to move forward, sometimes you have to do things that are uncomfortable. And it might, you know, it's not going to be uncomfortable forever. It's just in the beginning. So change is uncomfortable, but if you really want it, then you're going to do it, you know. You're not going to be scared. It's a fear, you know. That's all it is, you know. The devil gives you fear because you're capable and you're able. It's just, you got to do it. I was fearful to get on here and talk. You should see my first video. But I have a few videos in now and I feel a little better about it. Nobody has, like, came at me. But yeah, you know, it's a change. Change is hard. Yeah. And then I just wanted to talk about, we're finishing the year 2025, and you know, you should think about the things you want to do for the next year. You know, do you want to continue on the path you're on? Would you like to change your path? Would you like to live a different life? You know, these are things to think about, like, how can I go about it? You know, I'm ending my year by making videos. I I didn't all year. I just started like a couple months ago. And it was because I felt inside like I needed to. And I know it, and I still feel I get thoughts, and I believe they're from God, because I don't know if they're mine, but but I feel like I should make these videos, so I'll do it until I feel like I shouldn't do it. But right now I feel like it's okay. I don't have a lot of followers, but I'm not really doing it for followers, so hopefully some of this will help you out. Again, my messages reflect on your situation, correct it if it's not, if you see that there's things wrong with that road, it's just not what you thought it should be. And then you know, have self-control and correct yourself, correct it. Self-control after, because it's easy to fall back into old situations, old temptations, old way of living, so easy. You have to have self-control to keep moving forward and not get stuck. So yeah. And what better time to do it? You're going into a whole new year. I believe we finished the 7-year cycle. So yeah, it's all, hope you have a good year, and I hope it's with God. Make a relationship with God, and maybe that's what you need to do for the coming year. And yeah, he'll change your life. Yeah, and it won't be like all suddenly. It'll be gradually, like if I were to think about how I was 5-10 years ago, I'm like, wow, I have made a change. But if I thought about it like last year, I wouldn't really notice the difference. But yeah, if you would have asked me like a year ago would I be making these videos, I probably would have said no. But I'm doing it, and I already knew I wasn't gonna feel comfortable doing it, and sometimes I'm still not, but I'm still okay with change. So there you go. You gotta not be fearful of change. Anyways, God bless you. I hope this gave you something. Anyways, always take it to God, through the name of Jesus Christ. Always pray to Jesus. Okay. Say a prayer for me, and I'll say a prayer for you. Goodbye.